Hello and welcome to this week's Total Access Show. We are in Shielfield Park with the Jewson Bandits. I've just come off a phenomenal win in a super heat against the Oxford Cheetahs. It was nerve-wracking stuff, Greg. It went right down to that. Oxford got a 5-1 in heat number 15 to take it to that super heat. That race was up there with one of the best races we've seen round Shielfield. It was tight. It was Sam holding the race up to try and get Scotty involved. It was Scott diving up the inside the louis. It was just, it had everything. It was excitement right up until the checkered flag.
That's it, Scott. I mean, you know, for both the Bandits boys to be able to hold off Scott Nicholls for 4 laps, that's something that they can go home and be proud about. That was such a tough ask for them to be able to do that. And they did it, when it mattered. But, you know, looking at the Heat 15 when they got that 5-1, the way the gates had worked out, it was kind of predictable that was going to happen. I had a little walkabout being on the centre green tonight. I had a little look at the starts, and some of them, like, there was good ruts on the track, like on the start gate. But when you get a few yards in front, they were going all off like that. So there was riders that I spoke to Louis about it, and he says, "Oh yeah," he says, it's nice between the gates, but you look further up and they're just all over the place. And if the back wheel falls into them, you end up going all over the place and you lose that forward momentum. So yeah, even when it came to the toss of the coin for the super heat, it was obvious what was going to happen there. And I think Shrocky may have thought that it was won there on that coin toss. But as we witnessed, it wasn't to be.
Yeah, it was. It was a fantastic night. But all in all, Oxford went in front early doors. The Bandits fought back to the point that they get 6 up, where the Cheetahs were able to then play a tactical substitute. Obviously, Scott then went out, and Scott Nicholls went out and won that as well, which obviously made the meeting even tighter. It's fair to say the Bandits, I know we say this about the battling Bandits all the time, but they really did battle hard, and it was probably as hard fought. I know we got a point for Oxford leave with a point for a draw, which in the grand scheme of things is probably fair. Yeah. But the Bandits take 2 points for the meeting, which I think all in all, given the way the boys battled, was probably fair as well. So I think it's one of these strange situations where both teams are actually going away happy because Oxford have got the bonus point and a point from the meeting, and the Bandits take 2 points. Everyone's a winner at Shielfield. That's
exactly it. Everybody has been a winner tonight. You know, I hate to say it because it's a cliche, but Speedway was the winner tonight. You know, that was the thing. The crowds were on their feet. They were up and down. And there was like 5 wins here. There was 5 wins there. 4-2. It was just, there was a mixture of everything, and it just made it to be a top-notch meeting. It's just gutting that we have been hampered with injuries, because the team has shown what we can do against such a strong team there. But yeah, it's heartbreaking in a way that we've had these injuries with, you know, Bastian and Rory, and you know, time's run out for us. But at the end of the day, no taking away from what tonight was.
Absolutely. We obviously went with RR tonight, which yielded paid 8, which was actually good. Obviously, the confidence that Stuart put into the guys. We seen that the guys took that on to race wins from that payday as well. So the rider replacement, although you've previously said as well that doesn't normally go for the Bandits, but it kind of went for us tonight. It kept the boys' momentum going, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, we said when we went live on Facebook earlier on that the main thing about this RR is that Stuart Dixon is going to have to work out his programme. He's going to have to think constantly of, like, when can Oxford even play attack sub, if that's a possibility of that happening. What's the score going to be like? He's got to rub that crystal ball and figure out what that meeting is going to look like so that he can use the RR in good places. Stuart done it. Stuart done it. You know, that's exactly what we need in a team manager like that, and that was spot on from Stuart. I mean, he done a fantastic job of team managing tonight.
Absolutely. And there's one man at the moment that we're going to hear from now. We're going to hear from Drew Kemp.
So joined with Drew Kemp in the pitch after what has been one hell of a meeting tonight. Drew, that super heat, well, all night for you, but that super heat was something else. What's kind of going through your mind there? Because it looked like that Sam Masters was trying to slow the race down. Did it hamper you guys, or did it work to your favour?
Stress. You know, I was saying earlier, it's not nice obviously going to the super heat, but you know, it gives the Berwick fans something to cheer about, doesn't it? We haven't had much to cheer about this year. We've been pretty unlucky with injuries, but you know, going to heat, it's not fun, but it's an extra ride, isn't it? It's another chance to make some money, and that's the way I look at it. So when you're enjoying your bike, you just want to ride as much as possible. So any opportunity that I get to have a go is, you know, happy days, isn't it?
I was saying earlier on, you know, that I think a lot of fans of Speedway would have looked at this meeting tonight and thought, well, this is going to be an absolute hammering for Berwick. Berwick famously don't really do that well in RR situations. It never really works for us. But, you know, you guys went out there, you did a fantastic job. Stuart Dixon did a fantastic job of picking who to put in at that time. And it just, it seemed that everything was working well. What was going on in the pits? Was it quite chilled and relaxed?
Yeah, you know, that's what you've got to be. I think when you see team managers and riders running around, it doesn't help anybody at the end of the day, because it creates an atmosphere that people don't want. It makes people tense, and that's where mistakes happen. So, you know, Stuart did a good job tonight. Obviously, he knows what he's doing. He's been in this game for a long time now, and that's what you need. You know, the team isn't just made up of 7 riders. It's made up of 7 riders, including the team manager. So races are won and lost in the workshop. They're also won and lost in the pits, and you know, that's what happened tonight. You know, we chose the right riders at the right time, and it came good when he needed it to. So not too bad.
Well, thanks very much for joining us, Drew, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you at Berwick next week when we take on the Workington Comets.
Thank you.
Cheers.
So, Drew, again, he's becoming the master of Sheffield, really, isn't he, Greg? I mean, you see that line. I was talking to Sam Masters after the meeting, and he even was saying, watching Drew come round here, going that wide, he said to me, he's got this place mastered, pardon the pun. But if you're getting praise like that from a rider like Sam Masters, you're definitely doing something right.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we've seen it many times. Drew Kemp, he does like just giving that fence on the 4th and the 2nd a little kiss as he comes out, and it seems to straighten him up and get him onto the straight. And the speed he's got in that bike and the way that he can turn it is just like, it is brilliant to watch. We were all jumping and cheering it when we had Chris Harris here a few seasons ago, thinking that was, you know, that never get another rider like that around this place. But Drew Kemp is doing the business for us, isn't he?
Praise indeed, Greg. Another rider we're going to hear from now is Danyon Hume. Danyon, that was tense.
Oh mate, yeah, squeaky bum time that, but yeah, we got the job done and got over the line against a very strong team.
Heat 15 for yourself, that's just testament to obviously how well you've been going round, not just tonight round Sheffield, but this season as well. Did you feel the pressure going into that one?
Do you know, I didn't. I know it was a big heat, but I just got there and enjoy obviously my riding, but I know it was going to be a tough ask, especially when Sam and Scotty are out in the same heat, and it's a big heat. It kind of in the end went with us, obviously going into the super heat, but nah, I'm pleased with my performance, and yeah, buzzing for the team. And
the fans went away extremely happy. You seen their reaction at the end, although there's maybe some people that like super heat, some that obviously don't. It's went in our favour tonight, and you can see the excitement that it brings.
Exactly, yeah. I think the fans are up on their feet. It was like someone said in the crowd just a minute ago, that was the best heat 16, especially like the racing around it. But yeah, like you said, everyone's happy, and so are we.
And it was, I know you weren't in Heat 16, but it was a phenomenal race, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think Stuart done the right thing, putting Louis in. It was a very tough ride, and yeah, I'm just pleased for him.
Next week we look ahead to facing the Workington Comets, home and away. That'll bring the curtain down on the season for the Bandits, unfortunately. How important is it to end the season in a high?
Oh, massive. Like, we should take the confidence tonight into next week. Like, I feel like tonight it's brought the team together. We had a bit of a gap in the season where, like, we had injuries, we had people like guests come in, but tonight we rode rider replacement. I know we had Frederick, sorry. He came in as a guest and he emerged as part of the team, and I felt like tonight was a team effort.
And just looking ahead to next week, it seems like an age ago where we faced Workington in that challenge match at the start of the season, but there was good memories there, there was 2 good performances. The boys will be aiming for that next week again.
Exactly, yeah, and it's a cool track to go to, and yeah, I think was it the first away meeting of the year, was it? Yeah. So yeah, I think we had a good night there as well, so yeah, it'd be nice to finish with finish on a high.
Obviously that does bring it the curtain down on the season. You're making pleas already to come back here for next year. Am I dropping that on you?
No mate, it'd be nice. I absolutely love it here. Some people say I like the drive and stuff, but that's part of the job, you know, just jumping your van and yeah, before you know it you're here. A lot of it's like if you have good company in the van, of course, but Yeah, we're here, and yeah, I'd love to be back.
Good luck next week, Danyon.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
So, Greg, another great night at Shieldfield for Danyon as well. Another one who's probably got dialed in as the seasons went on around Shieldfield as well. One of the riders that can pop out in Heat 1 and beat the opposition number 1, which is always great to have on your side. I did ask Danyon there, obviously facetiously, about coming back next year, but he's a rider I would personally love to see back at the Bandits next year, because he's all out and he gives everything for the badge on the front, but all in all he had another great night, and it was rewarded. We've been awarded the Heat 15 over Louis.
Yeah, you know, he worked that hard to get there, and he done it. You know, it didn't go his way. Again, the gates weren't great. I did say when I was down at the start line, speaking to one of the start marshals, you know, if Danyon can get out the gate here, he's a hard man to catch around this place. He's fast, and he's got a good style for this place. But, you know, at the same time, Stuart did say, I did put a lot of pressure on Danyon going into that Heat 15. And that's where the change came in the super heat. You know, it was a big ask to put Danyon into there. I don't know if the pressure maybe got to him or if it was just the starts. The thing is, like I've been saying, the way that the gates were tonight, a lot of riders will see that and look at the start line, and they can kind of be beat before they've went out, just because the mess of things. But you know, you don't know what's going on in the rider's head. But I think the way that Danyon is riding this place, me personally, I would love to see him back next season. Razor's got a habit of trying to run us down the tractors while we're doing the total access show as well. But if we take it down to the kind of lower end of the team, Freddie again I thought rode really well. He was unfortunate in one of his rides where he's popped up at the start, vertically popped up at the start, really unfortunate there. But again, probably the end of the season is probably coming too quick for Freddie now. We spoke to him on Facebook Live as well when I was chatting to him about maybe that gap in the fixtures as we spoke about last week as well, and it definitely seems like that because he's riding it a lot better and he's making much better starts. He is, he's making really good starts now, and he's not looking to see where everybody is. He's just focusing on his point to get to. You know, you come out of that start and you want to be focused on somewhere to hit on the bike. You don't want to be looking to see where other riders are coming from, because then you get that natural reaction of danger, I'll roll the throttle off. He's more focused at the start line, and you know, the other thing is he did lift violently at the start in that race, but he caught them back up again. You know, he was quite a distance away coming off that second corner, but Freddie dug deep and he went for it. He's also learned now, after that meeting that we had last Friday at Armadale, he was out, he fell off, he got back up and he kept going and he put his all in, and then one of the riders fell off and he managed to clinch that point. So things like that is what you need to do. You need to remember that. So it's good to see that he's progressing and he's learning as he goes. We've spoke a lot about the super heat that got us the 2 points on the night. Let's draw a line under this evening and watch that super heat.
Settle down for the final time. Super heat is a go, the green lights are on. And pushing through Kemp makes a brilliant start, as does Luca. The bandits are on the outside, but Scotty Nichols is going wider than he's ever went before. Can he get the drive going into the corner?
Here comes Nichols.
Oh my goodness, the bandits packing in the minor places.
This is immense, absolutely immense. Scotty Nichols, he's done him. Absolutely.
And he's done him. Can Louis return the favour? He makes a cut back. Oh, underneath Nichols again. Oh my lord above!
Scott Nichols going for the big blast round the outside once again. All the while Drew Kemp is going big and going wide on there. Scott, there's absolutely nothing between them. He could throw a postage stamp of all three riders at the back. Sam Masters leads.
Oh
the
my
bandits
lord!
are packing the minor places. There's just over a lap to go. Scott
the
Nichols,
bandits, hold on, James.
The bandits are headed for a victory on the night. But my God, Scott Nichols will not go away. He will not give up. He's throwing absolutely everything.
Just the locker momentarily as the bandits streak ahead.
Shieldfield Park is becoming
James, 2 corners to go. There's no doubt about the man in front, Sam Masters. But the bandits packing the minor places. Get the job done in the night.
So we head into the final weekend of the season for the Bandits. Workington home and away. Greg, going to be 2 tough meetings. Workington probably surprised a lot of people this season about how well they've actually done. They've made some team changes recently as well, which all adds up to another 2 tough meetings for us, especially on the road, I would say, because we probably caught them at the start of the season where there's a lot of those guys probably never even seen the Workington track previously, maybe press and practice. But all in all, the Comets have had a good season at championship level.
They have, you know. There's a few riders that were selected that people maybe turned their nose up at and thought, you know, this is sort of scraping the barrel. I know a lot of people had wrote off 𝙏𝙊𝙐𝙍 and said, you know, he's not going to be able to do the do. He was at Redcar, you know, on Friday night. I went there to watch, and he was flying. And if he can ride this place like he was doing that night, he's going to be a pretty tough guy to stop. But you know, we've got momentum on our side. We've come away for 2 good home wins, and I mean, getting that one over Oxford tonight is a massive one for the conference, for everybody. There's riders in that team where I think that, looking down our list, reserve Freddie Hodder will be looking, maybe he'll be thinking that he's got something a little bit more in the tank than what the other reserves have, which is always a bonus for us. And I hope, fingers crossed, Border Derby, I think that it could be a good night at Speedway.
It's a real shame the season's coming to an end so early, really, for the Bandits, because, as you say, we've had 2 good home wins.
Yeah.
On the bounce against Edinburgh and obviously Oxford tonight. 2 teams who could easily have came here and caused us more problems than what we actually did. Considering we've come away with a win on the night. Better watch your back, Greg. I won on the night in the super heat, but obviously beating Edinburgh. So I feel as if the season's probably coming to an end too soon. And my own personal view is that if you had to add Rory and Bastion into that mix, we've really got. It just shows that how unfortunate we've been with the injuries, really, in the stage of the season that they've really came. We've not been able to kind of. The riders just aren't there to replace these guys as well. And it's just so unfortunate the way that the season's worked out for the Bandits. It
has been. You know, we've seen what we had at the start of the season. We had, I think, 4 unbeaten matches at home to start off the season with. You know, the first 2, the home and away, that we had with Berwick and Workington, fantastic results. You know, and there was confidence in the boys. But yeah, them injuries that happened. I mean, losing Bastion the way that we did down at Poole. Terrible, you know, accident to have. I've seen on social media that Bastion's coming to the track next Saturday, on Saturday night against Workington, to see all the fans, which I think is a fantastic thing for him to do. It shows how much that he's fallen in love with this place. I spoke to him in the BSN earlier in the season, and he was so happy about it. He swore how much he really enjoys being at Berwick. And the same with Rory. You know, the crash that happened with Rory, me and you and, you know, people at home seen a crash like that happen hundreds of times, and the riders walked back to the track, and it was just an awkward little angle for him to go in at the fence at Scunthorpe, and you know, that's the season done for him. But we cross our fingers and we hope that there's going to be some discussions made in the winter, because me personally, I would like to see the same team going out there next year. Absolutely,
as I say, I think we got it right. It's just we've been unfortunate with the way the injuries have went. As we say, the Workington Comets are in town on Saturday evening. You can get your tickets there live now. That's at berwickspeedway.com/tickets. Those are at a reduced rate till midnight on Friday as well. And we hope to see as many Bandits fans, and we hope to see all you Comet fans as well making the trip over on Saturday evening to cheer on your team. And we can't wait to welcome everybody, and hopefully we can finish off the 2024 campaign with a big win against a playoff chasing side, Greg. So until next week's Talk 𝙏𝙊𝙏𝘏𝘍, goodbye.